All right, welcome to Rock Show Critique, and we have another interview lined up here. And this time we're going to talk to the voice of LA Guns, none other than Mr. Phil Lewis.
Hi,
Welcome.
how's it going? Thanks, Joe. Nice to be here.
Yeah, great. Man, oh man, you guys seem like you're churning out these new albums now faster than ever for you
It's
guys.
every 2 years, and I know that seems really quick, but that's the way we did it when we started, and that's the way the bands that we grew up listening to in the '70s did it. It's just a normal thing. It's just a process that we enjoy, and actually worked out really good. That gave us something to do while everything was down, and yeah, it worked out fine. I mean, it's a great way to still play music, but not in the traditional sense that we're all used to.
Right. Now, are you still one that you believes that you must definitely tour behind these albums to help promote them?
Oh yeah, I mean, and we want to, and we plan on it because that's predominantly what we do, and that's certainly uh, the major our major source of income. So yeah, we
Mhm.
can't get on the road quick enough, but
Mhm.
we didn't want to rush into it. We wanted to make sure we wanted to do it safely. We don't want to get sick, and we certainly don't want anyone getting sick on our watch. So we've held back. A lot of our peers, a lot of bands have been out and enjoying it, and people are, of course, have been loving it because it's been so long. But we made a pact that we wouldn't do anything until the record dropped, and once it does, hopefully we'll get back to something like the schedule we were used to before. I just feel that it's fortunate that this record, we got to do this record, and the release of it, the timing's good. We were on a roll before the pandemic struck. We were doing really good. We were promoting The Devil You Know, and the shows were getting bigger. The audiences were getting larger. The offers were coming in from all around the world. And then all of a sudden, for everyone, it just stopped. Everything just froze. And I feel with this release, with the new Checkered Past, I feel that we can pick it up exactly where we left off with a new album under our belt that just confirms that we're a little bit different from all the other hair metal, whatever you want to call it. But we're not a nostalgia act, and we do have some great old songs that we wrote last century, and we love playing them. But that's not the be and end all of our existence.
All right, well, let's dig into the new album here. Obviously, how did you guys arrive at the title?
Well, yeah, it's obvious, isn't it? It's a bit like the missing piece, spelled in peace and love, after a 15-year estrangement. Each album title really depicts Tracy and I, and sums us up in a phrase. And the missing piece, there was definitely something missing in both our lives. The devil, well, yeah, we the two devils, we've known each other for a long time, and now Checkered Past, and nobody can deny that if there was ever an appropriate title, this is the one.
All right, so how did you guys attack the writing process on this? Where did you begin with it all?
Tracy, I let Tracy come up with all the music, all the ideas that he'd been mulling around in his head, and he recorded it between Hollywood and Denmark, and put it together in about 10 or 15 days, and then hand it to us, music, and just said, okay, have at it, do your best, and we took it from there. Johnny took on like playing the bass aspects, and Adam Hamilton actually played drums because he was compiling the files. Tracy would send files to him, and I would send my vocal files to Adam too. and Adam's set up as a drummer because he's a fantastic drummer and he's a producer. So he's got the studio all set up for drums. So Scott Coogan actually didn't play drums on it. Adam did. And JC just gave us the music and said to go with it. And a year, 7 or 8 months later, we put this great record, finished this great record.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this album has a little bit of everything on it. It's got the big riffs that you guys are known for, and then you got songs like Get Along and Let You Down, which, are a little bit different. But I think that's what gives this album, a good overall mix. It flows nicely from song to song too.
We're big Zeppelin fans, and all Zeppelin albums were like that. They were all a bit different. They all that you'd have the heaviest fuck song, and then next thing you know, you're listening to mandolins, and being raised that way musically, it makes sense. There are other bands that they've got that one trick and they're really, really good at it, and they make lots of money doing it and make people happy. But we were never that. We were always maybe in the very, very early days we were just heavy, brash and loud, but it didn't take long for us to start coming up with nuances and refreshing ideas.
So, looking at the album from your perspective, what do you see as the strongest tracks in your mind?
Well, favorite and strong might not necessarily go, because most of the questions I'm asked is what's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So strength wise, definitely Cannonball. I knew right away when we were putting that together, recording it, that was going to be the opening track. It just had to be. It just screams it. Let You Down just had such depth. I knew that had strength to it. The stuff that hasn't been released, like If It's Over Now, which is a really, really epic song, that I'm real happy with the way it turned out, is very strong. And I can't think of it at the moment. The Living Right Now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's really super strong. And for the most part, they're my favorites. My favorite song actually is Bad Luck Charm, because it's funny and it's got that bluesy, irreverent vibe to it. It's got great lyrics. I got a woman, she's okay, she ain't pretty, but look at me. It's just that I think it's important to have humor, and we got plenty of that, certainly on that song.
Yeah, so now on the set list for this tour, when you make it, how are you going to go about making it? It's so tough. You got 3 recent albums, all recently that came out. Obviously, you're going to hit a bunch on this one, I'm sure. How do you go back and actually make all these choices?
It's so difficult. It's so difficult, because we know during the process that 70% of what we're putting out is never going to be played live. It's just impossible for us to do that. So you have to pick your favorites, pick the ones that you're going to put in the set, and Cannonball, obviously, and that's going to be the opening song. It's important if you're promoting a new record to come out with confidence, and I feel strong. That's Cannonball's a bit like Speed. It's everything. It's just as good as anything we ever wrote, like Sex Action or Never Enough and Electric Gypsy. And it's a fun song, and I think it would be great for our fans. But yeah, I mean, I would love to do Bad Luck Charm live, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, you have to pick. We had to pick, like, the Speed from the first one, The Devil You Know, the opening track. For the second record. When I say second, I mean post reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And on this one, well, we're going to do Cannonball, Let You Down, and Get Along. we know for sure. Occasionally we might replace one of those, but we have to have the backbone of our live set has to be, but we got to have like Sex Action, Ballad of Jane, Never Enough,
Mhm.
Electric Gypsy, Rip and Tear. Those are songs that people would be rightly so indignant if we didn't play them and we just focused on the new stuff just to keep us happy. We wouldn't do that. So yeah, it's tricky.
Now, you guys have a lot of songs from the back catalog that you haven't really touched in a long, long time, which really are some great songs like "It's Over Now," and then you got "Beautiful,"
Yeah,
another great, fantastic song. Have you ever thought about possibly doing like maybe some acoustic type shows or something to feature some of the lesser tracks that you don't get a chance to play much?
it's funny because those very two songs you mentioned, are actually back in the set. We've never done "It's Over Now." Tracy always had a problem because he felt that it really needed keyboards. He was like, he really missed that Hammond keyboard part of the song. But I persuaded him. I said, look, we've never done it live, and a lot of people like yourself like it and bring it up. So yeah, we're going to try that. We were thinking about "Beautiful" and he wanted to put it in the set, but I'm not sure that it would work every night. It's something that I wouldn't mind doing once in a while, but I think that we've got stronger old stuff that would be better than that. And certainly, if it gives an opportunity for us to play an extra new one, I'd rather be doing that than playing "Beautiful," which is a great song and I love it. But I'm not sure that it would work as permanently in our set. So we passed on that, but we are going to do "It's Over Now." So yeah.
All right. Now I actually Tracy actually was going back and forth on Twitter about a lot of stuff about the new album when it before it got out there, and he was telling everybody, and he wasn't saying, how a lot of bands will say, "Oh, it's the best one we've ever done." He wasn't out there saying that, which I really appreciated because a lot of people usually say that. And
Yeah.
he said that his favorite album was the one that kind of is very underrated and got away there from you guys uh, just before he had left there.
Like Vicious
Waking the
Circle.
Dead.
Oh, Waking the Dead. Yeah,
Waking the
yeah.
Dead. Yes,
That's good.
very.
Yeah. 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 No, that's a great record too. I enjoy it. See, unlike Tracy, I do believe genuinely that this is our best record. And I always believed that for every record. And it's just my boyish enthusiasm taking over. I'm not trying to spin it. I'm not trying to make it, like I really do in my heart feel that there are areas that we explored on this record that we've never done before, and I'm so incredibly proud of it. I really do feel like genuinely. I think that it's but I felt the same way about Missing Piece, and I got to say, I wasn't quite so sure on The Devil. I was ecstatic about a lot of it, but some of it maybe not. But I love every song on this fucking record. There's not one song on it. I'm not sure about that one.
Mhm.
And I'm I'm overwhelmed with boyish enthusiasm. That I do feel like it's formidable.
Now, looking back, not counting this album, obviously, because it is, the new one and everything. Do you have what do you consider the pinnacle LA Guns album?
Well, yeah, Cocked and Loaded. It's a no-brainer because that was the one that put us on the map, and that was the record that I got to be involved in from scratch with a blank canvas. A lot of the debut record was floating around in the can before I joined the band. So
Mhm.
for me, it was something of a salvage job replace the other bloke. But with Cocked and Loaded, it was okay. Here we go. This is all of us in a room. You know, what you got? Let's put a great record together, and which we did, and a very diverse record too. So yeah, I mean, I've got to, you know, I have to give credit. Plus, it sold the most, and I was incredibly proud of it. You know, when I went back to London after coming to LA and joining the band and working on the debut self-titled, when I came back at this stage of Cocked and Loaded, doing interviews, talking about it, I was very, very confident, bordering on cocky, because I felt so strongly about it.
Okay. Now looking ahead for touring, obviously you're going to be doing some dates coming up eventually here. Are you just going to be doing like shows for headlining shows on your own, or are you guys looking to probably get on a package? What do you feel you want to do there?
We got both things in the pipeline. We got our own shows for the rest of this year, starting November 11th, the day the record drops. Local stuff in and around LA, couple of shows in Vegas, culminating with the headline at the Whiskey on New Year's Eve, which we always traditionally, we're like the house band for New Year's Eve at the Whiskey, which we couldn't do last year, obviously, for obvious reasons. So it'll be great to get back to that. So nothing, you know, no flights, no touring or anything, just a gaggle of dates, half a dozen, 7 or 8 shows. Next year is different. We have I'm very excited to announce that we have a summer tour lined up with Tom Kiefer that we're excited about and looking forward to. He's a good guy. He likes us. We like him. We've done shows together before, and it worked really well. So we're putting it together and taking it out on the road. And Tom's being very generous. He's giving us a decent length set. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That sounds
so
great.
Yeah, we'll get back, you know, pick it up where we left off, as I said, and get ourselves back on the circuit.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time.
It's awful, you know. Tell me about it. You know, this is something it's in my blood. I've been doing it for 4 decades, just to be sitting around, which is why, you know, recording this album was a blessing. You know, it was something to do. Otherwise, I would have gone crazy. I would have climbed up the fucking wall.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave you with one last question here. Now let's see what you got here. Now, LA Guns, obviously, you guys, you know, been around a long time, went through many different band members and everything like that.
Over 50, I'm told.
Yeah, I couldn't even keep track of them myself. It was
well, you know, it's a fluid thing. You know, we're not like a rich organization. It's not like Iron Maiden or Def Leppard that you know has basically the same band, because they can afford to pay people when they're not work. We never could, you know. So it was always much more fluid with us. So we knew that people would be coming and going because they couldn't do it because they had other stuff. But it sure made for an interesting ride. I got not now, but I had a phone book that thick with all the people that I knew from playing with us. Yeah, but as long as it's me and Tracy, and I got to say Johnny now, then that's the nucleus of LA Guns, and it doesn't matter who comes and goes. I love the lineup we have now with Ace Von Johnson. He's been a great addition to it. So hopefully it'll stay solid for, you know, keep us busy.